world, blunt universe. I'm your host with the most, here to brag, boast, celebrate, toast. I'm Teddy Loose Cannon Adams, and we came here to bring all that smoke. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world right now, but y'all here tuning in with me, and I appreciate that. Y'all like this video, you like other videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to comment. I like to hear y'all opinions, what y'all think about the show, what y'all think about certain subjects that I'm talking about, and what topics did I miss that y'all might find important. But we got some NBA action going on, some news going on right now. The draft lottery basically just came through, and I'm going to read off, the order of the picks. Number 1, Orlando Magic. 2, Oklahoma City Thunder. 3, Houston Rockets. Sacramento Kings. Detroit Pistons. Indiana Pacers. Portland Trail Blazers. New Orleans Pelicans. San Antonio Spurs. Washington Wizards. The New York Knicks. And the Pelicans got another pick. That's the 12th pick. The Charlotte Hornets and the Cleveland Cavaliers got the 14th pick. You got to stay tuned and stay into and see, what other teams' draft lottery ball is going to fall on them. Now, Orlando, this is Orlando's 4th number 1 pick. First pick, ever in their franchise history. They wound up getting Shaq. So let's see if they can make another, big wave, another big splash going on and beyond into the next NBA season. So that's the draft lottery. Did your team make a top 14? They in it? Let me know. I know I'm wearing Orlando Magic stuff right now, paying homage to Penny. Is one of my favorite players, so we just gonna keep it moving like that. Now, other news, Janie Buss. Y'all know who that is. That's the owner of the Lakers. She taking responsibility for her team. Now, I said a couple episodes ago that most of these teams, when they lose, it's always the coach fault or the star player fault or something crazy like that. But you don't never really see the organization, the higher-ups really taking the blame, for anything. So for her to, basically take accountability for her organization, I like this. It said, when you spend that kind of money on a luxury tax, you expect to go deep into the playoffs. I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. And as an owner, if, first off, the Lakers is one of the top franchises, not even in basketball, but just in sports, period. They known all around the world. They got a crazy fan base, not just on the West Coast, but everywhere. So when you add all of that, and if you look at their history of basically dominance and excellence, they expect to win. They expect to go deep. Anytime you put on that purple and that yellow, they expect you to win. You know what I'm saying? It's a show, and it's basketball because, you out there in Hollywood, La La Land, like they call it, so the stars going to come out, and the stars, want to see players play. The stars want to see, the Lakers, be deep into the playoffs and hopefully championships get involved. When you got 17 of them, you got a history of winning, and you got a history of knowing what you want and knowing what your formula is. So that's cool for Janie Buss to step up and take accountability for her organization. Me personally, I think she got too many cooks in the LA kitchen. She got too many people in her ear that probably got their own vision for the Lakers and probably got their own selfish intent on what they want to see, and everybody around you don't necessarily know how to run a business or know a team or anything like that. So she should only listen to basketball-minded people that actually got the team and the organization, best interest at heart. Somebody like Magic Johnson, or, somebody even like Phil Jackson, who's in her ear, who's arguably the greatest, head coach of all time. But the thing about it is the triangle still going to work in this era, in this system, in this style of how they play basketball now. Lakers fans, tell me what y'all think. Got my notes with me, so just wanted to let y'all know that Phoenix Suns head coach Monty Williams, who I was lobbying for, who I was voting for, he got that Coach of the Year, even though the Suns, got eliminated by the Mavericks in the playoffs. I need to put some respect on Dallas' name, but I'm going to get more to that. But Monty Williams, got Coach of the Year, so big ups and congratulations to him. Now, I know y'all heard the incident that happened between a fan at the Dallas Mavericks arena and Chris Paul Chris Paul's mom and Chris Paul's wife. Obviously, that fan did something out of pocket that he wasn't supposed to do. I guess he pushed, his mom or his wife or whatever, got physical with her in somehow, some way, and he got a year suspension. Now, if you ask me, he got not a suspension, but he got banned from coming from Dallas Mavericks games. Now, if you ask me, that ain't enough. Just a year, when basically you assaulted somebody, you put your hands on somebody, you targeted that person. You knew that was Chris Paul's mom. You knew that was his wife. So you had premeditated plans already going there and doing something crazy. So you shouldn't be allowed to go to no NBA games. I got a problem with this because these fans, be a fan, sit in the stand, watch the game. Don't cross them lines of being real disrespectful, because that ain't cool. And just overall, everybody handles disrespect different. That's why Chris Paul told that man, "I'ma see you," and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? And if Chris Paul was to see him, that person that put his hands on his mom and his wife, you need to keep that same energy when that man see you. Push him. Be tough with him. Start something with him. Don't talk shit from 3-4 rows back. That's easy to do. Be a man and keep that same energy and say that shit to his face if you really that tough. But when the incident was happening and Chris Paul said, and he told that man, "I'ma see you," what did that man do? Talking about calling lawyers and getting police involved. Oh, now you want to call lawyers and now you want to get police involved after you assaulted 2 women. And then when the man stepped up to your face and said that he was going to see you, you tuck your tail between your legs and you ran off like a little bitch. That ain't cool. Keep that same energy. And that's all I got to say about that. But going on to something, a little bit lighter. Now, if you didn't know, the NBA, they got divisions just like in football. And now these divisions, they get new names and they get new trophies. Like, for instance, the Pacific Division, that's now going to be called the Chuck Cooper Trophy. Who's Chuck Cooper? First African-American player to get drafted in the NBA. That's who Chuck Cooper is. The Atlantic Division got the Nate Sweetwater Clifton Trophy. Who is he? First African-American to sign an NBA contract with the New York Knicks, and he played for 7 years. Northwest Division is now going to be called the Sam Jones Trophy. Who's Sam Jones? Well, he went to North Carolina Central, has more championships than any HBCU player. That's 10 with the Celtics. The Southeast Division, the Earl Lloyd Trophy. First African-American to play a game in the NBA. He played with the Washington Capitals, Syracuse Nationals, and the Detroit Pistons. He an Army veteran, played in the NBA for 9 years, and he won a championship in 1955. Central Division, that's going to be called the Wayne Embry Trophy. First African-American to be an NBA general manager. He a 5-time NBA All-Star. He a champion, won a championship in 1968, and he was a basketball executive for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors, and some other teams too, but notably those 2 teams. Southwest Division, that's the Willis Reed Trophy. Who's Willis Reed? He went to Grambling State, only HBCU graduate to be league and finals MVP, 1965 Rookie of the Year, 2 NBA championships, 7-time All-Star, and he's a top 75 player of all time. What y'all think about these new names and the new trophies and how they broke everything down, basically paying homage to a lot of forgotten legends in the NBA? Some guys that you probably, won't see in major stats or really read about, but that don't mean that they didn't exist. And I think it's cool that the NBA is paying homage to these dudes and giving them their rightfully place naming, and giving awards, after them. Speaking of awards, the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, they're going to have Eastern Conference and Western Conference, finals MVP. The Eastern Conference going to be named after the legend Larry Bird. Western Conference going to be named after, the legend Magic Johnson, giving, more prestige and more, added on legacy to their names. I think it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I just hope they don't get out of hand with naming awards and giving out, too many awards. I think they should rename, a couple awards, like the NBA scoring title should be called, I don't know, the Michael Jordan scoring title is just the idea in my mind. The assist title, because they do got those, the assist title, maybe John Stockton or, somebody like that. Tell me what y'all think about renaming trophies and giving them different designs and giving them different ideas about what's going on with everything. Now, we down to the Final Four in the NBA. We got the Golden State Warriors, the Dallas Mavericks, the Miami Heat, and the Boston Celtics. Who gonna come out the East? Who gonna come out the West? Just know that I'm liking this playoff basketball right now because it's real unpredictable. It's a real dogfight going on. A lot of the teams that we thought was gonna make it in, these, so-called super teams like the Lakers or the Nets or maybe even the 76ers, they ain't there. You know what I'm saying? As we seeing the side effects, to the super team, as we seeing the side effects to low management. What y'all thinking about all of this? Because now we seeing, real live scrappy, started from the bottom teams, making it far, making it deep into the playoffs and possibly going to the finals and winning it. But I think the dark horse in this race that a lot of people still sleeping on is the Golden State Warriors. They the only team right now that's still left in it that had won a more recent championship. I know Miami was there, 2 years ago, and they lost. But out of those 4 teams, they the more recent team that won the championship. So you can't count them out. They still got their big three. They still got Steph Curry. They still got Klay Thompson. They still got Draymond Green and a whole bunch of, good role players, Gary Payton II and Juan Toscano Anderson. So you can't count them out as long as, the 3 guys, Steph Curry is still around. He always going to be a threat and he always going to be a problem of making it to that finals. And I saw people was like, oh yeah, well, he ain't got a finals MVP. All right, he got regular season MVP, but he got the rings to match it. That team is still his team and that team still built around him. And that's just the truth of it. But definitely want to give, definitely big shout outs, to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Even though the Bucks lost that series, but still he was the first player in NBA history in the series to have 200 points, 100 rebounds, and 50 assists. So even in the losing effort, he still provided, he still did what he was supposed to do. And this ought to show the Milwaukee Bucks organization and their fans how important that Chris Middleton really is, because Giannis can't do it all by himself. Granted, he's a freak athlete, he's a freak of nature, but he can't do it all by himself. He's still just one man, and I don't care how you word it, superstar, megastar, that superstar, megastar, or whatever you want to call him, ain't gonna never beat a team, basically, by itself. The better team gonna always beat the better player. That's just how I think, and that's just how I feel. Like I said, y'all ain't got to agree with me. These are just my thoughts on what I've been thinking and what I wanted to share with y'all. But get into something else. Now, Rudy Gobert. Hold up, first before we get into Rudy, I don't know why I call him Ruby, but Rudy, Mike Brown is now the coach of the Sacramento Kings. I don't know if any of y'all care, but now he's coach of the Sacramento Kings. I mean, I really don't see them doing nothing different. I don't even really see them next year as really having a chance to even get into a play-in tournament or anything like that. I mean, the West is too stacked right about now, and maybe he could turn them around. Maybe he could increase their win percentage, but they still gonna be under 500. That's just me. That's just how I feel, and that's what I'm thinking. But Rudy, I guess Rudy Gobert and Shaq been beefing. Now, Shaq said Rudy wouldn't be able to guard him. Rudy then turned around and said he'll lock Shaq ass down. Now, Rudy, he's an average player. You know what I'm saying? He got those defensive, player of the year awards in the soft era. That's the one thing that he got over Shaq is those defensive player of the years. He got a couple of those. I don't even think Shaq got any, but Shaq got an MVP. Shaq got rings. Shaq's a Hall of Famer. Shaq's a top 75 player of all time. Rudy, you ain't even gonna make it to the 100 list. You don't deserve it. I don't even think you one of the best players in the West. I don't even give you top 5. And in what era do you possibly think that you could hold Shaq? It ain't the Orlando Magic Shaq. It definitely ain't the Lakers Shaq. It ain't the Miami Heat Shaq. Maybe you might have been able to hold the Boston Celtics Shaq, the Cleveland Cavaliers Shaq. You could probably lock Shaq ass down right now. And that's only because he's been retired for years and he's too busy making, General commercials and Gold Bond and Icy Hot and Papa John's and whatever else, that he into, J.C. Penney. Maybe you could hold him now. Maybe you'll lock his ass down now. But I don't see you locking him down in his prime or in your prime. You just ain't that good to me, and you really ain't that dominant. I mean, you got moments. Maybe if you went somewhere else and played for a different team, maybe you might be a success, or maybe you just might need to stay in it with the Jazz. Maybe that's the only team that possibly got space for you that would really want you. I don't know. Just think about that, Rudy, before, you really say stuff like that. Like, you could probably lock Shaq down on NBA 2K. Is you talking about like that? But I don't think in any era you would ever really dominate Shaq. You got a hard time dominating guys in your era. Focus on your era first. Focus on who's around you. Learn more of your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. But we on to these NBA playoffs right now. I like it. Like I said, this is competitiveness. This is hard-nosed, scrappy basketball. Matter of fact, the Heat just took game 1 right now at home. I'm going to put it to you like this as far as, the Celtics really, surprised me. I was one of those people that really ain't have them, making it deep. But I made that pick based off emotion. It wasn't off of logic because I'm a Kyrie Irving fan. I like the Brooklyn Nets. I like Kevin Durant. I like they dynamic, and I did want to see them go far after everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? This season with the mayor of New York, basically mandating but not mandating dumb shit, not willing to bend or break, but not making sense. With the COVID vaccine rules and everything like that. With KD being injured, and then James Harden not wanting to be there no more for whatever reason he got. I'm going to break all of that down to my Brooklyn Nets, episode, basically what went wrong with them this season. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Los Angeles Lakers. Basically, I'm asking y'all, like, did we see the end of the super team era? Like, people, what's going on? Like, what do y'all think about it? Who do y'all call a super team? In your mind, in your definition, what is a super team? You know what I'm saying? Comment down below. Let me know everything that y'all thinking. I want to hear y'all opinion. Now, next episode that I'm going to be hosting and basically putting y'all on to, I am going to say something because we need to burn a little sage around Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, but Ray Allen also in there too, because they've been I've been burning on that subject for a long ass time, and I've been wanting to get that out, but I am going to get that out. Basically saying that LeBron left he left Cleveland because of them to go with Miami or whatever. What they need to understand is that LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony all wanted to play together, but that all didn't work out. They've been had this plan with each other. It's just that Melo went to New York to go chase the bag, which I ain't mad at him about. Braun, got with D-Wade and Chris Bosh, and he chased some rings, which ain't bad too. But they said that they basically ran LeBron out of Cleveland. That ain't the case. What y'all think? Did y'all think the Boston 3-Party ran LeBron out of Cleveland? Or do y'all think KG and Ray Allen was running from something? That's why they went east. I guess you're going to have to tune into the next one to find out. But I'm here to let you know that smoke is now clear. The blunt is out. The session is over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share not only to this page, the official Very Blunt Sports Podcast, but also the official Nubian Blaze fan page. Got a lot of music on there. So let me know what y'all think. Comment below. Until next time, I'm out.
I don't need a fucking cosigner to post rhymes for controversy. I'm calculated, your validation does not concern me. You created a character, you can market, but I'm sharp enough to sharpen my view whenever you charge him. I can